So we'll chant Om 3 times, followed by the invocation shlokas. Inhale deeply. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Good morning everyone. Hari Om. Welcome back. Here we are in chapter 7, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. As we are doing the Jnana Vijnana Yoga, chapter 7, we were studying that the nature of Bhagwan, right? In nature of Bhagwan, he started giving some example. First, what he said is that there are two types of prakritis, para prakriti and apara prakriti, and the entire world is made up of para prakriti. Everything in it is made up of apara prakriti. The entire world is made up of apara prakriti, the lower nature of Bhagwan alone. And all the 5 great elements from which the entire world is made, along with mana, buddhi, and ahankara, is all apara prakriti, and the jiva bhuta, the cause of this, which is a consciousness, is his para prakriti. So both are in him alone. And this para prakriti is holding on this to this entire apara prakriti, just like a thread that is holding on to the entire necklace, yet it is invisible. Then, other than me, there is no one else. Nothing else in this world other than me. That is also clarified. Then, he started giving examples. Like what? Saying that whatever you see, whatever that object is, the essence of that object is me. And he started giving examples, such as if you see water, understand that the liquidity in that water, the rasa of that water is me. If you see sun or moon, understand their illumination, that brightness is me. If you look at Vedas, understand that the essence of Vedas, Om, is me. And if the essence of all the 5 elements, he has talked, right, saying that if it is in terms of Akasha, the essence of Akasha is the sound, that is me. Okay, and for Prithvi, the solid matter, the gandha, the taste, the smell is me, right? And if you see a muni or a tapasvi, that tapas, because of him, because of which he is called as tapasvi, that is me. And if you see someone who is bright, that brightness in him is me. And then towards the end, what we saw in our last session is, if you see a strong person, okay, balam balavatam asmi, okay, balam balavatam asmi, kama raga vivarjitam, dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatashrava. This is verse number 11. Okay? So here, what he says is that in this, in the first line, balam balavatam aham, I am the strength in the strong person. So here the strength of a strong person is not defined in terms of physical strength, but it is about mental strength for someone to drop off everything and try to find their own inner self, which means that this is referring to Nivritti Marga. Nivritti Marga means dropping off everything, and dropping off everything is, okay, so not paying attention to anything else, but just focusing on the nature, understanding our own true inner nature. That is called as Nivritti Marga. So for them, they need a different strength. What is it? Sadhana based strength, such as साधना चतुष्टय संपन्नत्व such as viveka, vairagya, shama, dama, uparama, shraddha, titiksha, samadhana, mumukshutvam, followed by shravana, manana, nididhyasana. All of these are strengths. Okay? So that strength, he is God alone. In case if we say that yes, yes, God is there, I understand. However, right now, I'm interested in taking care of my family. I'm interested in keeping my job. I'm interested in uh, taking care of my community, etc. That is also fine. In that case, dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. So, as long as the desire is not against dharma, it is in alignment with dharma, that desire is also, so this is pravritti marga. So this is also me. That is what he said, and that is where we paused in the last session. So given this, we are going to start the next shloka, shloka number 12. Okay. So I will break down the verses and then we will chant. Okay. So this is verse number 12. Ye chaiva. Chaiva has two, is made up of two words actually. Cha eva. So cha eva becomes chaiva. Satvikaha, bhavaha, rajasaha, tamasaha, cha. So this rajasa, tamasa and cha becomes rajasa, tamasascha. E matta eveti. Eveti has got two words again. Eva iti. Tan vidhi. So tan vidhi again, it is two words. Tan and vidhi. Na twaham. Twaham is again two words. Tu and aham together becomes twaham. Teshu te mahi. So that becomes ye chaiva sattvika bhava rajasa astamasaschye mattaye veti tan veti na twaham teshu te mahi. So we'll chant this. Okay, so one of you please go off mute and repeat after me. Okay. ये चैव सात्विका भावा
ये चैव सात्विका भावा
राजसास्तामसाश्च ये
राजसास्तमसास्तये
मत्त एवेति तान् विद्धि
मत्त एवेति तान् विद्धि
न त्वहं तेषु ते मयि.
न त्वहं तेषु ते महि.
So here he has given these examples, right? 14 examples actually, if you count all of them. All these 14 examples, what he said is that whatever essence that you have seen, that is me alone. And in Sutra, why? Based on Sutre Manigana Iva. He said that, okay, because there's nothing other than God. So now what he's saying is that now in this shloka, okay, he's concluding this section. Ye bhavaha. Ye bhavaha means all these bhavas means experiences. All these experiences which I experience, okay, so that is the whole gamut of all the experiences. Satvika bhavaha, rajasaha, tamasaha cha. So these bhavas, these experiences can be categorized into three types. Okay. They are classified, yes, three gunas. Sattva, predominantly sattva guna, okay, is called as sattva guna pradhana. Because there is just like, like what we studied in Panchikarana, in Tattvabodha, uh, when we look at any gross element, such as earth, it is not earth alone, it is not 100% earth. What we studied, 50% earth and 12.5% of fire, air, space, and water. Similarly, if you take water, again 50% water, but and 12.5% of everything else. So like that, what happened is that there is an admixture of all other qualities. In the same way, when we say sattva guna, it usually means that it is predominantly sattva guna, but there is a little bit of rajas and tamas mixed in there. Okay. So now then what we say is that when we say sattva guna, it's predominantly sattva guna, rajoguna also means predominantly rajoguna, and tamoguna means predominantly tamoguna. So there are three types of bhavas: sattvika, rajasa, and tamasa. Now, what are the sattvika? Okay, for example, all devas, rishis, etc., brahmanas, they are sattva pradhana. Okay, so rishis are sattva pradhana. Brahmanas are sattva pradhana means don't take it as Brahmins are sattva pradhana guna. No, one who brahmanas means Brahman chariti iti brahmana. So one who is mind is in Brahman is brahmana. So no, that is brahmacharya. I think brahmacharya is that one. But brahmana still is one who knows Brahman is brahmana. So as those people are sattva pradhana among humans. Now even in animals we say like cows are sattva pradhana. In terms of plant kingdom we say tulsi is example of sattva pradhana. Like that, fruits and vegetables also we are actually have sattva pradhana fruits and vegetables because there are certain things called as nightshades in vegetables that people tend to avoid, such as tomatoes are considered as nightshades, and then what is the other one? Eggplant is considered as a nightshade, etc. And some people avoid those fruit, vegetables also. So that way, the food also can be sattva pradhana. So actually, we are going to study a lot about the sattva, rajas, and tamo gunas in chapter 14 and again in chapter 16 and 17 to a certain extent. Actually, 17. So 14 and 17. So in a similar way, Rajasaha means among higher beings, Gandharvas are considered Rajasa. Gandharvas means that they are like all the like so for example, Kubera is a Gandharva. Kubera is the treasurer of Indra. Okay, and among humans, right, Kshatriyas are considered as Rajasa, okay, Rajasic nature, like the people who are in army, people who are in defense forces, etc. And in case of animals, you can think about an animal like a monkey is a Rajasic a Rajasic animal because it can never sit still. And in terms of plants, chilies, for example, or any spicy food are considered as examples of Rajas base. Why are we detailing all of this is because this Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, all of them are needed, number one, and they are not linked to only one aspect, as in like only humans are like that, right? It is there across everything. Similarly, tamasika means tamas means dullness and laziness, and also people who want to harm others for no reason. Okay, so these are all different aspects of tamas. So rakshasas, pishachas, they are considered as tamasic. And among people who only work, like they say that, right? Do you live to work or do you work to live? Okay. So if the answer is that I work to live, okay, I do bare minimum that is necessary to sustain my life, then that is tamasic. Now, in terms of animals, again, like snakes, scorpions, etc., are considered tamasic animals. Why? If you think about python, it is said a python never moves. It is said, okay? It moves obviously, but it waits for its prey to come to it as opposed to it going and hunting for the prey. Okay? And in terms of food, right? Any alcohol, stale food, etc. They are all examples of tamas-based food. So all these aspects, satvika bhava, rajasa bhava, tamasa bhava, all these are there in our day-to-day life. And they are there even in my mind. So some thoughts are good thoughts, some thoughts are medium, some mediocre, some thoughts are somewhat negative thoughts. Even in my body, if I look at, okay, my face is sattvic, my arms are rajasic, and my legs are tamasic. Why do we say that? Why do you consider face as sattvic? Because face has got lot of jnanendriyas. We have five jnanendriyas, organs of perception. Out of those, eyes, right, ears, nose, mouth, all four of them are situated right in face. The fifth one, which is touch, is all over the body, but also on face also. So that's why face is considered as, and all of these jnana indriyas are what are sattva guna, are made with sattva. So that is why face is considered as sattvic. Now, Rajasika means what? If I need to do any work, I need my hands. So that's why the arms are considered Rajasic. Legs, unless you need to walk, what you do? You sit. Okay, unless you need to walk, you sit. So that's why legs are considered Tamasika. So this Satvika, Rajasika, Tamasika are there in all aspects of our life. We talked in terms of animals, we talked in terms of beings, we talked in terms of within humans, right? Within the body, within the mind. Okay, no matter where you see, we are always bombarded with these three gunas. Okay, so what Lord is saying is, Bhagavan Krishna is saying is, don't get carried away by the satvika, rajasika, tamasika aspects. Instead, what do we need to do then? Matta eva itihi. Okay, matta eva itihi means I alone am all this. Okay, irrespective of whether there's satvika guna, rajasika guna, tamasika guna, they're all God alone. Okay, because they're all in the Lord. They all have Lord alone as existence. So because what happens is that now let us say you're sitting, okay? You're not don't I mean like you're not doing anything, you're just sitting and you're just observing your mind. Suddenly a good thought comes, a noble thought comes into your mind. You know, I had to go to temple and volunteer there. it has been a long time. Okay, I want to do something. I want to do some annadhanam. Okay, so some of these thoughts. Then what happens? Yes, this is a great thought. I should hold on to this thought. This is a nice thought. So we start enjoying, and like whether I go to temple and do it or not, I start experiencing happiness right now, and then I feel proud of myself for having such a good thought, right? Then I suddenly remember that yesterday when I met this person, he scolded me like that. Now my mind is going in always like, how can I punish him? How can I beat him up? How can I, whether it's physically or mentally, right? So thoughts of revenge, thoughts of, all of those things are coming, like harming that other person are coming. Now, as a layman, I'm terrified about that thought. Why am I getting these thoughts? Chi, these thoughts are not right. Okay, get rid of this thoughts. Let go away, go away, go away. These thoughts are go away, right? So that's something that we are doing. So what happened is that right within us, when a good thought comes, we react differently. When a bad thought comes, we react differently. So what are we doing? There are thoughts, some thoughts we like, that some thoughts we dislike. Now, what Bhagavan is saying is, don't worry about your experiences, whether it's in external world or internal. Understand that everything is God alone. Through whether you have a sattvika experience, a rajasika experience, or tamasika experience, at body level, at mind level, at intellect level, you see something, you heard something about something good, something bad, whatever. Understand that all of them belong to Lord alone. So that means that you transcend that feeling. Transcend means go over, go beyond that feeling, okay, and understand that these thoughts, these gunas are one alone. Aham na teshu. So that means, okay, aham na teshu te mai. Okay, aham na teshu means I am not in those. I am not in those means what? I am not in those what? I am not in those whatever has been said before, which is sattvika, rajasika, tamasika. So I am not in those means Lord is not in any of these three gunas. Meaning Lord is not in the control of these three gunas. So Lord Bhagwan as the highest reality is never touched by these three gunas. Okay. However, those gunas, they mai. So that means that these tattvika, rajasika, tamasika bhavas, they are all in me. Means they are all in Lord's control. Why? Because anything and everything is that is there outside is God alone. So here we need to understand how come he is not in them, but they are in him. Okay? Why did that such a statement has been made? Now, what is the relationship between God and the world? What is the typical example we use? That world is a superimposition on God. Did you hear that before? World is superimposition of God. Do you recall? Go ahead, Shola.
The rope and the snake example,
Yes.
the super is.
So yeah, so superimposition means it is. So typically we use the example of rope and snake, where what we say is that, see, if everything is God and there's nothing other than God, what we see is a projection. Projection on God. How is this projection is just like a snake is superimposed on rope. That means what? Snake is superimposed on rope means what? What does it mean?
The, I mean, when we see the rope in the dark, we assume that it is the snake. Assumption.
Yeah. So we, for due to our misunderstanding, we see rope and we think it is snake. Now, when we see snake, we don't see rope. Okay. Only one of them is seen, either snake or rope. Okay. Not both at the same time. It cannot be both snake and rope at the same time. So now, what is the relationship between snake and that rope? Rope is real, snake is illusion. Now, can we say that the delusion or the illusion of snake is within the rope? Illusion of snake is within the rope.
No.
If not for rope, snake is not there. Okay. And within that snake, I'm sorry, within that, when you look at the form of rope, you got confused with a snake, maybe even a garland, maybe, but you don't get confused that with a donkey. Okay, there are two different shapes completely, right? You don't mistake a rope for a donkey or a bull or a tiger or an elephant or a lion. No. You only get confused with snake means because of the similarity. Yes. So the confusion creating capability is there because within the rope there is an inherent thing because of which you assume that it is a snake. So hence, but on the other hand, now let us say if you see it as a snake, once you start seeing snake, what all do you see? You see its eyes, you see its fangs, you see its tail, you see its color, you see the pattern of the snake. But none of these are impacting snake as none of these qualities of snake are impacting rope. Right? So, in the same way, these gunas or change in gunas are not impacting Lord in any manner. Okay? So, what we can say is that Bhagwan is not, so the rope is not in the snake because rope is not impacted by the apparent changes or differences in the snake, but however, the snake is probably in rope. Okay, so in the same way, in the same manner, whatever is happening in this world, okay, this world which is made up of Maya, primarily, predominantly, along with Brahman, of course, okay, which is Maya is of Trigunatmika, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, and we are all part of that Maya being made with, see, what are we made up of? We are made up of Panchamahabhutas. Panchamahabhutas are made up of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So we all have Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So that is means what Sattva, Rajas, Tamas is again Maya alone. So all of that we have, okay, whatever we are undergoing because of this Maya, Bhagwan is not impacted in any manner, but other than Bhagwan, nothing exists. So whatever we think we are part of Bhagwan alone. So we are in him. He is not in us. He's not in us means what? He is not subject to the type of experiences that we are experiencing. Okay, so that's why what we say, Bhagwan is in me. See, like one of the things that what we say is, Bhagwan is in me as Sakshi, we say. Sakshi means witness. Witness means one who is observing and seeing yet are not impacted, right? So for example, if there's an accident, okay, and they call a witness, if that witness is also hurt in that accident, he is a party to the accident, not witness. A witness is someone who is not involved in accident, but who is a mere observer, right? So that's the reason why we use the word Sakshi, because Bhagwan is not involved in our experiences, but he is there as an observer. In fact, he is not there as an observer, but my real I is there as an observer. Okay? Everything that is witnessed today is the play of my physical body and my mental thing, right? Which is Stula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, and Karna Sharira. So that is the play of the Stula Sukshma Karna Sharira with Stula Sukshma Karna Prapancha is witnessed by me as Sakshi. Okay. Unfortunately, my problem today is what is I am thinking that my ahankara as me. Okay. So there is a that is the misunderstanding, that is the gap that we are trying to bridge through this. Okay. So here, that's why Bhagavan is saying that I am not in them, they are in me. It means all these three gunas, in these three gunas, he is not there, but all these three gunas are within him. So that means what? Why is he saying this? Is that these three gunas are in the Lord. So that means what? You see something that is happening very nice. Okay? As in, like, let us say you go to temple and you're witnessing a Bhagavan, Lord Krishna Kalyana or Shivji's Kalyana or something like that. And your mind is at peace, at rest, and saying like, wow, look at that, it is so beautiful. Okay? But then you're in complete sattvic mode. But what you need to do at that time, this is all Bhagavan alone. This is all in Lord alone. Then you come, okay? You go to bank. You're standing in the line, okay? And there is a transaction going on between the teller and the customer ahead of you. Understand that this whole thing is rajas, right? Because the transaction is going on. Oh, maybe it is getting delayed or whatever, okay? Or what? So what you look at? Oh, look at that. This is a rajasic experience because there's a transaction is going on, but this experience is in God alone. You got stuck in traffic. Okay. When I got stuck in traffic, cars ahead of me are not moving, or they are moving at 5 miles an hour, whereas the highway speed says it is 65 miles an hour. Right? So understand that it is Bhagwan alone. And then, like, once you drive like that for 5 miles in 45 minutes, then you see that the whole reason for this the slowdown is a big accident. Oh, that accident is, that's a tamasic experience, right? A sad experience to see maybe like a car totaled or maybe two cars totaled or whatever. That is, again, you feel sad for those people, but then same time, it is all in God alone. So like that, whether we experience good, satvika, rajasika, or tamasika bhavanas throughout our day, wherever we are, whenever it is, whatever time it is, try to go beyond those bhavas and understand that these are all in God alone. So use all of these experience. See, like from the morning to night, we are going through a series of experiences, right? And in every experience, try to transcend this and say that, okay, all of this is in God alone. Okay? You don't have to be like a 7 by 24, but as you start looking at that way, and as you are trying to do as much as you can, maybe 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, etc., right? The presence of Bhagwan, you start to see all around you more and more. Okay? So this is why this is something that God is telling us for us to experience it. For this, like, you don't have to sit in meditation and say like, oh, Ham Brahmasmi, etc. No, you go out in the world, you keep doing what you're doing, but just have one line, one small stream. Like, like how we say, like, we all say we are very good at multitasking, right? We can listen to radio and study at the same time. Or like at least in the school, whenever we were supposed to study something, the first thing that we needed was something in our ears with a headphone. Only then, otherwise you can't study. Right? So we pride ourselves in multitasking. I pride myself in driving and texting at the same time, or talking on the phone. Right? So my point is that in the same way, just have a thought that everything that is happening is in God alone, and everywhere is God alone. So that's the essence of this particular shloka. Any questions around this before we go to the next shloka?
Yeah, but when we say everything is being done by God only, then there is some kind of a passivity also that will develop in within the human mind.
Mhm.
Saying, oh, all this is God, all this, then the human mind, which thinks that I am the person, not God the person, then what happens? There will be a clash in that thought, wouldn't it be? That egoistic personality will come up.
Okay. So now, who is talking all of this?
Me.
No. Okay. Now let's just, if we step back, this all of this is being taught by Lord Krishna.
Lord Krishna, yeah.
To who is his direct main student?
Arjuna, or
Arjuna.
me,
Okay.
as
We are secondary. Arjuna is the primary
okay.
student.
Arjuna,
Okay.
okay.
For Arjuna, what did Arjuna not want to do, and what does Krishna want Arjuna to do?
Arjuna didn't want to fight, and Krishna wanted him to fight.
Okay, so who is the pacifist here, and who is pushing for action?
It's Krishna himself who is pushing for action.
Action. So if you see here that this thought is creating passivity, right, as like a pacifism or something like that, understand that what it means is that what are you then?
No, but before we go to that question, then when we say passivity, even that thought that Arjuna, he's thinking, and at the same time he
Hmm?
doesn't want to fight the war. So you cannot really say it is passive there, isn't it? He's also thinking and not wanting to fight because he will be destroying the enemies, his own relatives anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so the question here is, it's not even that thought is not passive. It is more towards something that he didn't want to do.
So then if it is something that you didn't want to do, but it is a right thing to do, then it is an abdication of responsibility, right?
Mhm.
So you are put in a particular position in a particular day and a particular time in a particular situation to take care of certain things. Okay. Why you are put? You're none other than Brahman. Yes. Okay. If if there is something from a dualistic perspective, if something is wrong, who needs to take care of it? God has to take care of it. Now, aren't you God's representative there?
Representative.
Or as in like your God, okay, as a God, as not as a God, as the God, you had to fix whatever it is, right? If from as Ishvara, Bhagavan is coming down onto earth from time to time, taking avatara to re-establish dharma, right?
Yeah.
So then you as God, right? Because you are none other than God alone, you are none other than Brahman alone. You have to come down to Vyavaharika level to take care of that issue. Okay, so you must perform the action. See, all of this is being told. See, the very first chapter, first few chapters of, you need to take the Bhagavad Gita in its entirety. Don't take this part alone. So before this, what happened? First set of 6 chapters, it talked about how must you perform action, what kind of actions you should perform, what kind of actions you should not perform, right? You should not perform any kind of desire-based action. You should not perform any kind of action or not perform uh, just because you don't like it. So all of them were told back in chapter 2 itself. Okay. And then you have to perform with what attitude you should perform. Nishkama karma. Okay. No desire for results. And you only perform kartavya only. That is also all set. And then when you're doing the activity, you should not take ownership of that action. Okay. I'm only performing because this has to be performed, but like I'm not the performer. That kind of a thought should be there. And then you should also do that. Then, as you are doing this, that is when the second set of things have come from chapter 7 onwards. What is it? When I am doing this karma, as I have been instructed, what should my attitude be to the world? That is what has started in chapter 7. So in that, what is saying is that understand that everything is Bhagwan. So what happens is that now, how is this particular shloka go with for Arjuna's sake? Okay, so let us talk with Arjuna's case because like his history, his is much more extreme than ours, right? He need to kill people. Understand that? Nahantum nahantaram. Okay, I'm neither the killer nor I'm killed. Okay, with that kind of an attitude, with everything is Bhagwan alone, but a particular duty has been assigned to me, and this is what I have to do. So this, whatever in exercising this particular activity that I am doing, whether a sadness is coming out or joy is coming out, everything is God alone. Have that kind of a bhava. As of now, I am scared to fight. That is Bhagavan alone. Have that tamas is Bhagavan alone. Have that kind of a bhava. So then I got inspired and I'm going to act. That inspiration is also Bhagavan alone. So like that, right? So slowly you give up the ownership, the presumed ownership to this body and like some kind of attachment that is there to this body. Give up. That is what Bhagavan is saying. Okay. So let us go to the next shloka, which is shloka number 13. So the first word is Tribhir Guna Mayai Bhav. Tribhir Guna Mayai Bhavairebhihi. So here, this is a little bit complex word. Tribhihi Gunamayihi Bhavaihi Yebhihi. So these four words together makes Tribhir Gunamayai Bhavairebhihi. Sarvam and idam together becomes sarvamidam. Jagat mohitam na bhijanati. The two words in there. Na abhijanati. Mamebhyaha. It is mam ebhyaha because mamebhyaha paramavyayam. Paramavyayam means param and avyayam. So this is a breakdown. So one of you want to go off mute and repeat after me?
Somebody else do it. I'm not able to
Okay.
get this shloka. Somebody else do it, please.
I'll give it a try.
Okay. Sure. Jay. Tribhirgunamayairбhavairebhihi.
Traibir gunam maya biva bara barva. Oh,
Okay, so let's do this. Tribhihi
tribihi
gunamaihi
gunamahi
bhavaihi
bavarebi
bhavaihi.
bhara barbar
No, don't try to read what is there. Just repeat what I say. Bhavaihi
bhaviti
ebhihi
yeviti
sarvam
sarvam
idam
idam
jagat
jagat
mohitam
mohitam
na
na
abhijanati
abhijanati
mam
mam
ebhyah
ibhyaha
param
param
avyayam.
avyayam.
Good. Okay. So that goes. I will chant. Okay. So Tribhir Gunamayair Bhavairebhihi Sarvamidam Jagat Mohitam Nabhijanati Mamebhyah Paramavyayam. So this is the shloka. So now what happened is that what we heard in our previous shloka is all these bhavas are in God alone. And God doesn't have any modifications. God is not impacted by us. God is in control of these. So we heard all of this. Now the question is that if everything is in God, why am I not recognizing them? I mean, like as that they are in the Lord. That is answered in, that question is addressed in this particular verse. Tribihi gunamayihi bhavaihi. Meaning, what happened is that everyone is deluded by not having their attention on Lord. Their attention is being carried away by these tribihi gunaihi bhavaihi. Tribihi means three, gunamaihi, filled with gunas. What are those? Satvika guna, rajasika guna, tamasika guna, these bhavas. So again, so what is happening is that our focus is on these three gunas, sattva, rajas, tama guna. And what happened is, Ebihi, okay, in this way, sarvamitam jagat, everyone is caught in the same thing. Everyone in this world are caught and deluded by these three gunas, and they are unable to cross over that guna, okay, beyond gunas. So Now, what is happening? Mohitam na abhijanati, because they are deluded. Mohitam means because of delusion. Na abhijanati. Abhijanati means knowing. Na abhijanati means unable to know. So deluded by three gunas, how happen? How does it happen? If you are a sattvic person, if you're a sattvic person, what happens? You have particular thing. A sattvic person, I'm a noble person. Kind of a thought is there in your heart. And when you see someone who is rajasic in nature, they are like, okay, oh, let's go do stuff, let's go do this, etc. You're like, okay, whatever, those guys. Okay, so that kind of an attitude is there. For example, like as a real life real example is, think about some intellectuals, like if you are like a college professor kind of a person, like a philosophy professor. What would be your attitude to a 4-star general who fought in Iraq war, Afghan war, etc.? Yeah, those guys fight, etc. But they can't think like me, right? So that kind of a feeling is there, inbuilt feeling is there. So sometimes what happens is this Satvika people may not like who is Rajasika. Or definitely they may not like who is Tamasika. Like maybe like if they see a thief or someone like, oh, poor guy, or whatever guy. But like they may have compassion for him, but they may not like them. Okay. Now, what about Rajasika person? Would you like a Tamasika person? This guy is not doing anything, lazy fellow. That's how it is. Okay. And what about the Sattvic person? When he sees the Rajasic person sees Sattvic person, these guys are like good for nothing. They just sit in those colleges and they just make money. They are not good for anything, right? So like that, Rajasic person may not like a Tamasic or Sattvic. What about Tamasic person? Tamasic person not only dislikes Sattvic person or Rajasic person, he also dislikes other Tamasic people also. He doesn't like anyone but himself. So what is happening is that in this manner, we are daily, because what happens is that like take out these labels as sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. We all like a set of people and dislike other set of people. Now we are in the heat of election. We like the party that we are going to vote for and dislike the party that we don't vote for. Right? So this way, what is happening is that we are being deluded by our gunas. Okay? And now here, even with respect to my body, my jnanendriyas and antakarana is made with antakarana means my mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, mind, intellect, memories, and ego. All of them and organs of perception, all of them are made with sattva. Karmendriyas, organs of action, they are made with rajas. Karna sharira and our physical body is made up of tamas. Karna sharira because it's ajnana. Physical body because it is made up of inert material. And my mind is just holding on to this. It is unable to transcend this and see the nature of my true, real self. So because of that, because we are deluded and we are unable to remove this screen that in front of us as three gunas, what is happening is that we are unable to see the real nature of God. Mamebhyaha param avyayam. So he's saying that I transcend all of this and I am parama. Parama and avyaya. So that means that avyaya means he is imperishable and he is higher than them. He is higher than them. He is higher than those three gunas and he is imperishable. Imperishable means these gunas may come and go, but Lord doesn't go. So that means what? When sattva is there, sattva guna is there, that is possible because of the presence of Lord. When the sattva guna, you won't be, no matter whether you're a sattva person or rajasic person or tamasic person, you won't be able to be in sattva all the time. So after some time, the sattva will change into rajas. So then that rajas is also God alone. That rajas will change into tamas. That tamas is also God alone. For example, think about this situation, right? You go to temple. As soon as you go to temple, you do a couple of pradakshinas and whatnot, and you come sit in it. And that day, temple is also like not many people in the temple. You sit quietly. You want to close your eyes, and then you want to chant the name of the Lord. 5 minutes you chanted. Then, like in pure sattva, are you going to be in that state alone? No. You're going to open your eyes. When you open your eyes, what happens? People are walking around, etc. Some, like, you see some people, and like you see some child running around with his sister. Then you get engaged in the world. So there is that sattva has changed into rajas. Then after a while you say, okay, this is too much. I mean, like, this is enough. Okay, so now let me go. Okay, now I need to go take some rest. I need to go watch. So it's Sunday, right? Okay, so I need to watch my NFL game or whatnot. So that way, like, then what happens? Tamas sets in. So we are going through all of this. So one state is giving rise to another state, etc. But across all these states, God is there. That is the essential meaning of this shloka. So I want to pause here and see if you have any questions.
I have one question here. I'm sorry. But then here, what happens? All these three states are active states only. They are not tamasic states. They are rajasic all the time because there is an action being performed, right?
We said, that's what we said. There is an action being performed. So that's why we took a little bit time, right? And we talked about Rajoguna Pradhana, Tamoguna Pradhana, and Sattva-guna Pradhana, because none of these states are pure on their own. Because in absolute tamas, you are asleep.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah. So, but again, like when you are listening to something also, right? So something might be going on in the back of your mind. Okay. So even in Sattva Guna, let us say you're listening to Puja Gurudev Swami Tejam and Swami Chinmayanandaji's lecture. So your mind is in Sattva or not? Yes. Okay. You're enjoying. But you're also trying to understand what you're hearing. So there is a little bit of rajas is also there. And in addition to that, you may also be looking at the clock and saying, like, okay, I got tired, etc. Like, I mean, it may not be there, but to a certain extent, you may also feel those. So some kind of tamas may also be there at the same time. So then it is called as Sattva Guna Pradhana. In the same way, Rajoguna Pradhana, you may have some good thoughts even when you're acting, right? So some good thoughts in the sense, like, some peaceful thoughts might be there. So mind can be in Sattva mode. Mind can be in a tamasic mode also. So like that, in any of these actions, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, there could be other things can also be mixed. So that's why we say Sattva Guna Pradhana, Rajo Guna Pradhana, Tamo Guna Pradhana, meaning primarily Rajas, primarily Tamas, and primarily Sattva. Right?
Gurudev would throw a fruit that would be in his basket if he noticed anybody dozing off or something from the stage way back. He would throw. He had so much strength and the focus of throwing it right onto that person, a tennis player. But yeah.
Yeah. So because it's Puja Gurudev, he threw fruits. In our school, our teachers used to throw a piece of chalk piece.
Please. Correct.
So that's what we used to have. Yeah.
Yeah, this is something to be thought about.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, the entire Gita is not just to listen, but to put into practice. And here, the Bhagwan is giving different types of exercises, different type of ideas that we can bring into our day-to-day life. And we are not really changing. See, God is not asking us to change our lifestyle. He's not saying like, okay, so starting tomorrow, you do my puja for 2 hours a day. No. Okay. Rather, whatever you are doing, see that there is Lord in there. Right? So he's not asking for extra time from us to change our lifestyle in any manner. It is just that like when we are doing what we are already doing, just look and have a feeling that he is in all of these are in him. Okay, so that's it. Shall we conclude?
Sure.
Oh. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ Thanks everyone. We
Thank
will
you.
see
Thank you, Venkat.
yeah